Hey there, it's Elby. So today I wanted to share with you the importance of having faith like a little child. And it might sound pretty obvious, but there's some things that you might want to know about it. The first being that, when God looks down on us, he doesn't see anything that, you know, like to God, like us to God is like he's so much bigger than us and knows so much more than us and so much more intelligent and wiser and everything. And so when he looks at us, you know, he looks at us like we're children. And I think when you come before God, you can't come before God proud because God despises that. And you have to come to him and humble yourself, and that means to remember that we don't know it all, and that we don't see it all. We don't see all the details. We don't see all, we might see a little bit from the valley. We might see a little bit from the mountaintop, but God sees it way better, much more clearer than we do. And we have to remember that when we come into God's presence, that God sees us, knows us so much better than we even do ourselves. And so we have to come in to God understanding that we're like little kids to God, and we're dependent on him. Think about, when you get older in your life and you start losing your facilities, like, you can't see as well and you can't hear as well, and you can't, the things that you normally are really good at, you're starting to lose those abilities. And right before you die, you realize that you don't have the power like you used to. And all of a sudden, it's like you're a little baby again. You're having to give over complete control and trust to God, who knows it and knows your future and knows who you are and knows about your soul, and he's the one that has control now, right? We had control, but we lost control, and we are giving it back to God, and we are dependent on him once more. And so we have to realize that we're going to come to that point in some place in our lives anyway. And why not let God be who he is, and be that now, like when we come to God's presence, realizing that he is awesome, and that we need his help. We need to come before him like a little kid and say, God, I need you. I need you to help me. I need you to teach me. I need you to cleanse me, to clean me, to clean my heart, to help me to be better, to do better. Forgive me for the things I've done wrong, and help me to even know what those things are, and to be, to not fall into the traps of doing those things over and over again, but to get out of those things. And God is patient. And the amazing thing is, when you come into God's presence and you acknowledge, who you are to God, that you are a child to God, and that you want his help, and you need his help, and you want to be loved by God, and you want to love on God. It's almost like you're touching God's hands. And when you touch God's hands, it's like God receives that spirit of humbleness and humility, and that childlike faith, and God puts his hands up against your hands, and you suddenly realize that you're with God, you're one with God, and that God is giving and bestowing on you all of his love, right? His patience, his kindness, his goodness, like his ability to be good on you and not lie to you, not steal from you, not kill you, and all his goodness and his faithfulness to you. He's not, out there, he's not going to be faithful to you one day and not faithful to you the next day. He's always faithful to us. He's always protecting us. He's trusting of us. He believes in us. He's persistent, and he never gives up on us, right? Love never fails. He's just always there to help. And so we feel his faithfulness. We feel his gentleness. He's not fast and harsh with us, right? He's good, and he's self-controlled. He's powerful in that he controls his own self, and that he's not, easily angered, and not self-seeking. He's seeking after the benefit of all of us. And so when you touch God's hands, you're touching the very presence of God, and you're realizing that God is bestowing on you the very same character of who he is into our spirit, into our heart, right? We don't even have control over our spirit. We don't understand our spirit very well. We don't understand our soul. We didn't create our mind. We didn't create our beings. We didn't create our hearing. We didn't create our sight. So we have some control. We have some understanding of these things. But we have to realize that to God, we are kids. We are children in his eyes. And we have to be that when we come to God. God, I recognize who I am, right? I recognize who I am to your presence. And when you do that, and you touch God, and you say, God, I want to be like you. I want to be with you. I want to receive Jesus into my heart. I want to be a better person. And then God, you touch God, and you accept his lovingness, his riches of love, his riches of that he is rich. He owns everything, right? All the value in the world, he created it. The minds that created all the coolest cars, God is behind it all. God designed everyone's minds to be able to create all these cool things, the bridges and the skyscrapers and everything that you see on the earth. Everything cool is from God. God created it originally. God put the ideas inside of our brain, created us with a brain to be able to even do those things and make those things. Nothing of value is outside of God, and value equals money. Money does not equal it's not just, $10 is a value. It means what can you buy with $10? It's a value. It has value, and by itself, a dollar is just a piece of paper, right? But it equals value, and gold equals value. Just something that man has given these things, and given them equivalent of value, okay? And so God owns all the value. And he's all powerful. So in other words, power is control. And God has given his control over to be up for us to be able to have self-will. We are able to decide what we want to do, whether we want to be good or bad. God's given in control to governments and businesses and right. So God has given some of his control away, but doesn't mean that God doesn't have ultimate control. He has control of everything. He understands everything. He's wiser. He's smarter, right? And so God has it all. And so when you touch God, you are touching the maker of the universe, and you are in his presence, and you can allow God to, by faith as a child, to receive whatever it is that you need. God can give that to you if it's going to be a blessing to you and blessing to others, right? And it's not something greedy and selfish and evil, right? All right, because that's not what a child wants. Good, right? And so those are some things. Not only does God hold all the riches, okay, not only does God own all the love and the compassion and the gentleness and kindness and all those things, those qualities of richness, but God also is in control of our health. He created our bodies. And so when you say to God, you touch God, it's like God is healing and light. And you say, God, cleanse my body from diseases and toxins and all these things. It doesn't mean that you can be stupid and go out there and eat, bad foods and bad things and I think everything's going to be okay, but it is our responsibility to do the best we can with our bodies. But when you touch God, God is healing and light and love, and he loves you. He's gracious and compassionate, and you ask God, touch my body, heal my body, make my body a better place. Help me to be a better caretaker of my body, right? Those are some things, those are some prayers you can say to God when you're touching the Lord's hands, so to speak, right? These are really some great things that you can take. These are the riches of God that you can take inside of yourself. And by faith, you can reach out and ask God for anything that God says. If you say to this mountain, get up, no, be lifted up and thrown into the sea, and do not doubt in your heart, but believe that what you have said will come to pass, then it will be given, or it will be yours. If you therefore, if anyone, you should believe that you will receive what you ask, right? And so when I'm not saying about believing something that's evil, that God's going to give you something that's evil or bad, or you have to believe, you really believe that God's good, that He can give you something. And what I'm trying to say is that you can have the faith that God can do amazing things in your life. Don't just, like a kid can believe their parents, hey, I want this. I need this. Mom, Dad, can you do that for me? Right? Right? It's having that same simple faith. And that's the amazing love and generosity and kindness of God, so we can ask Him what we want and ask Him what we need and talk to God, and God will say yes or no or wait, right? So just understanding that. Anyway, I hope these concepts have helped you. I hope this has blessed you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel to help pass this message on to other people as well, and get the word out and help other people feel the blessing of who God is in their lives. And of course, if you'd like to join our team and join a committed group of people who want to help people change their lives and live better lives and do better things and get out of the rut and create income, be able to earn their own income besides having to work for a job, and be able to take more control of their lives as far as financial freedom, I would love to chat with you. I'd love to connect with you. You can simply go to connect with me by sending me an email, sailingwithalby@gmail.com. That's sailing like you go sailing on the ocean, with like you go with someone, Alby, A-L-B as in boy, I-E, sailingwithalby@gmail.com. And my website is simply I can, so it's the letter I, can, dot, and don't forget the dot, I can dot workwithalby.com. And Alby again is A-L-B as in boy, I-E. I can dot workwithalby.com. And I'd love to connect with you. Reach out. Let's be partners. Let's work together. Let's do something amazing in this world and change the world a little bit at a time. We'll talk with you later. Bye-bye.